Greetings 4-plussers and YouTubers to Battle Report 4. This is a rematch of Battle Report 2. Essentially the forces are the same with only minor changes. We're playing Dawn of War with the Scourging mission. It's not going to be Night Fight first turn. Chaos Space Marine forces include 2 Rhinos with 5-man squads inside, each have a plasma gun. Behind the Rhino obscured by the tree is a Chaos Lord on a Juggernaut with the Axe of Blind Fury. In the ruins is a 5-man Havoc squad with 4 autocannons. To the right of the ruins is a 5-man Chaos Terminator squad with the Warlord in it. And behind them is a second 5-man Havoc squad with 4 autocannons. The only change to the Chaos Space Marines is they traded in a few plasma pistols for mutations early in the game. It ended up working out well, though. The Lord on the Juggernaut got poison close combat attacks, which is essentially allowing him to reroll failed wounds at strength 6. The Chaos Demons are the same as last time. Large block of bloodletters with the Herald. The Herald managed to get himself corpulence and an axe. Large block of pink horrors with 2 Heralds. The 2 Heralds have a portoglyph, book of names. They both ended up rolling prescience and misfortune for their psychic powers, and then took the Zinch signature power. Big block of blood crushers with a Herald on a Juggernaut. The Herald ended up with a Blade of Blood and the Axe. And then of course there's the ever happy Bloodthirster. This game my gifts and psychic powers weren't quite as good as the last game. The Bloodthirster rolled the 3+ armor save and then Uncreation, which is Armor Bane and Flesh Bane. Neither of those powers are really good. In fact, honestly, I think those are about the worst 2 powers he can get. Maybe the shooting power is pretty bad. And then for his lesser gift, he got the Burning Blood, which is also pretty worthless. So Bloodthirster is going to be toned down this game, but we're going to see if we can make him work. He does have that Blade of Blood to get some extra attacks. He traded his 3+ armor save in for it. My Demons ended up winning first turn, and the Space Marines didn't steal the initiative, so let's get this party started. When objectives are revealed, I was in a great position. I had both the 3-point objectives and the 4-point on my side. I don't think I could have started any better in that sense. Turn 1 Demons, everything advances forward. The Bloodthirster flies a full 24 forward, which in retrospect may not have been the best move. He did have a line of sight block to the second Havoc squad, but it gave Corey a whole lot of chances to just make him crash out of the sky by just hitting him. Didn't even need to wound him. The Pink Horrors got prescience, moved forward to get into shooting range and take over the 4-point objective. The Herald with the portoglyph, who will now forever be known as Chuck, for the second game in a row, throws the damn thing nearly into the Chaos Space Marines deployment zone. It's the brown disc by the Bloodthirster, if you're wondering where it is. The Pink Horrors, they shoot at the Terminators. They ended up only getting 2 wounds after armor saves on them. The Terminators did amazing saves, but then completely failed their lookout surge. Both wounds ended up on the Warlord. Turn 1 Chaos Space Marines. The troops in the Rhinos get out and set up to rapid fire the Bloodthirster. The Juggernaut Lord moves into position to charge the Bloodthirster should he crash. The Terminators advance forward to get into rapid fire range on the Blood Crushers, and the Rhinos move forward full speed without their cargo. In the shooting phase, Corey is actually really brilliant here. He takes the Rhinos, moves them flat out to create a blockade to slow the Bloodletters roll down. Basically, he takes my Bloodletters out of the game for an additional turn. You'll notice that there aren't any Juggernauts anymore. The Havocs and the Terminators, they focused fire on them. With only toughness 4 and a 5+ save, they die pretty easily. The 2 Space Marine squads, they go ahead and shoot at the Bloodthirster. The first guys hit once or twice. They don't do any wounds, but of course the Bloodthirster just falls out of the sky and hurts himself, so he's down to 4 wounds. The closer squad rapid fires him, only gets 2 wounds on him, and what do you know, he fails both saves. So now he's down to 2 wounds. Not a good start for the 300-point monster there. And he's now going to get charged by basically a close combat monster, that Corn Lord on the Juggernaut. In what is probably the most strange round of close combat I have ever seen, The Corn Lord on the Juggernaut charges in. The Bloodthirster has 7 attacks. He has hatred from his Warlord trait, and he's wounding on a 2+ thanks to Fleshbane. And he has an axe that causes instant death on a roll of a 6. He gets 6 hits, manages to wound 5 times. None of them are instant death, or wounds 6 times. None of them, though, are instant death hits. And the Corn Lord survives with a single wound. Corn Lord attacks back with, I believe it was 9 attacks. Manages to hit 6 of them or so, and then wounds him 5 times. And amazingly enough, the Bloodthirster makes 4 out of 5 5+ invulnerable saves, so they both stick in the combat with 1 wound each. Turn 2 Demons, the Bloodletters will move up to assault the Rhino. The Pink Horrors are going to spread out as far as possible to anticipate the incoming Helldrake. The Pink Horrors and the Bloodletters both get prescience, and Misfortune is cast on the Terminators with the Warlord. The Portaglyph will spit out 3 Pink Horrors at the end of the movement phase. The primary unit of Pink Horrors with the Heralds, they blast away at the Terminators and manage to kill all but the Warlord with his only 1 wound left, and the Reaper autocannon. The 3 Pink Horrors that came out of the Portaglyph take a cheap shot at the Havocs, only manage to kill 1, and it's the champ, but it's still not enough to make him take a leadership test. During the assault phase, the Bloodletters only managed to kill 1 Rhino. They glance the other one once. The Bloodthirster easily finishes off the Corn Lord and then consolidates 1 inch. Yay. Turn 2 Chaos Space Marines. The Terminators tee up for a shot/assault at the Portaglyph. The 2 Marine squads advance to get a little bit better position for shooting. The live Rhino tank shocks its way through the Bloodletters to get back beside the Pink Horrors. The Helldrake arrives. When he arrives, he vector strikes and kills the Bloodthirster. The shooting phase, pretty much everybody concentrates on the Bloodletters. This makes sense. They are the clear immediate threat to come across the board and do some killing. They do fairly decent. The Bloodletters do. They survive pretty well, considering they had the Helldrake, Bale Flamer, 2 Marine squads, and 2 Havoc squads lay into them. The Terminators destroy the Portaglyph with shooting. Demons turn 3. The Pink Horrors get prescience, but in the process, one of the Heralds suffers a Perils attack. And if that isn't insult enough, they go ahead and taunt themselves with the Book of Names and knock their save down to a 6+. The Bloodletters advance to attempt a multi-charge on the 2 Marine squads. In the shooting phase, the Warlord and his Terminator buddy both die to the Pink Horrors. The Bloodletters get close enough to assault 1 squad, but they come up short of hitting the second one, so they only end up killing the 4-man squad, and then they're just kind of out in the open there. Chaos Space Marines turn 3. The Helldrake ends up going into continuing reserves. The 5-man Space Marine squad moves away from the Bloodletters to take position to shoot at the Portaglyph Horrors. The Nurgle Bikers that have been making a pretty wide flank maneuver start to come back into the fray. In the shooting phase, Corey takes full advantage of the 6+ save. Only the Marines shoot at the 3 Pink Horrors that are left over from the Portaglyph, and they kill them. Everything else shoots at the 6+ save Horrors, and Corey is completely on his game. Doesn't miss a single opportunity to use focused fire, so that way he can deny me the ruins save from the shots with the bikes and the Rhino, and he kills 11 of the Horrors, gets them down to a single warp charge. So there's the remnants of the Pink Horror squad. Corey definitely did some damage to him. On Demon's turn 4, I know I need to kill the bikes, so I use Prescience on the Horrors and Misfortune on the Bikers. The first Misfortune fails, so I end up using the second one successfully. The Herald and the Bloodletters, actually, the Herald of Khorne and the Bloodletters split up to potentially engage 2 units at the same time. You know, the Bloodletters are going towards the bikes, the Herald's going towards the Marines, and with the Bloodletters I kind of string them out so that way they have the option of charging either the Marines or the bikes. The Pink Horrors go ahead and spread out a bit more because the Helldrake's coming back, we know that. In the shooting phase, the Pink Horrors come up just 1 kill short of wiping the bike squad, and I think this is the point where I make a bad tactical decision. I positioned the Bloodletters so they could charge either squad, with the idea that if the bikes were wiped out, I could charge the CSM and get some free movement and reposition them with a Consolidate. I don't charge the bikes. I opt to charge both squads into the Marines. They completely murder them and then consolidate towards the Havocs, leaving the one bike alive. On Chaos Marine turn 4, the cultists come on, as does the Drake. The bike moves forward to get in range of a very long charge on the horrors. I'm thinking 9 or 10 inches if I remember right. The shooting phase, the Havocs go after the Bloodletters. The cultists shoot at the Corn Herald, who's on his own, even though it looks like he's part of the unit. I end up going to ground with the Herald. They get 3 or 4 wounds on him, and I'm just not entirely sure that I can make it. So I go to ground to get a nice 3+ save from the ruins, and he survives. The Drake, Rhino, and Biker all shoot at the Horrors. The Horrors have decent saves, only a couple die, but unfortunately I fail a Lookout Sir on the Helldrake's shots, and the Tzeentch Herald is the closest one, the one with the Book of Names, and he is instant killed. That's very unfortunate. The bike misses his charge, so I'm thinking, alright, I'm in good shape. I can, shoot at the bike and kill him, and since this is the Scourging, that's actually +1 victory point, and then nothing is in the area to contest the 4-point objective the Horrors are on. Turn 5 Demons, the Pink Horrors get prescience, the Bloodletters move in to kill the Cultists. I go to shoot the Biker in the shooting phase, and the Pink Horrors roll an 11, fail it, but that's alright. Still got 2 warp charges on the Herald. Boxcars, and of course this is the Herald that was wounded from the earlier malediction, so he's dead. I go ahead and engage in some dice throwing therapy. This is a good place to talk about sportsmanship. I don't mind the throwing of dice. Sometimes you just have to. It's a game. It should be fun, not frustrating. And sometimes it is frustrating. So throw the dice, get it out of your system. But in the process of throwing dice, sometimes we'll say stuff. And in particular, I said something that I definitely regret. I said, it's nice to win or lose a game through no strategic fault of your own. This was really unfair, as Corey was playing a great game. He was taking advantage of all the tactical mistakes I was making, and he was making great decisions on his own. It's a completely erroneous statement. And as I'm creating this battle report, it's becoming even more apparent how bad that statement was and how incorrect it was. I made tactical errors. I decided not to charge the bike. I just did things that were tactically not good. And the reality of the situation is I had backed myself into a corner where I needed those psychic tests to pass. I needed to, score wounds on the bike, and I needed Corey to fail armor saves, and then I also needed him to fail 6+ feel no pains. So I am genuinely sorry that I uttered those words, and I really feel that it's completely wrong and it was unfair. So anyhow, moving on, Bloodletters, they go ahead and charge the cultists and dispatch them as expected. Unfortunately, at this point in the night, my main camera's run out of battery and my phone's down to about 14%, so the pictures are getting scarce. What happened here on Chaos Space Marines turn 5 is not much left to do. The bike pulls up for an auto charge on the Horrors, the Drake hovers, the Rhino sits there, they shoot at the Horrors, the bike charges in, and basically after combat you end up with only 3 Horrors left and they stick around. The Bloodletters are cut down to just the champion by the Havocs in the backfield. The game continues to turn 6. The Bloodletter champ joins up with the Herald. They go to dispatch the Havocs on the top level of the ruins. Meanwhile, the Pink Horrors fight to a stalemate with the bike. Looks a little bit like this. Chaos turn 6. The Helldrake comes over to kill the Bloodletter and the Herald. Pretty much what we expected. I go to ground in the ruins. I have a scatter field. I got a 2+ save. The Havocs, the Helldrake, everything combines together, and I manage to keep the champ alive. The Herald does end up dying. If the game ends now, I pull out a win 4-3. The game does not end, ends up going to full length 7, and the Drake goes ahead and moves into hover mode. The Havocs shoot the Bloodletter, and he ends up dying. The Pink Horrors and Bike fight to a stalemate again on both turns. When it is all said and done, a very hard fought battle results in a demon loss of 1-3. Corey is contesting the 4-point objective with his bike and has First Blood, Slay the Warlord, and Linebreaker, and I end up with just Slay the Warlord. Hell of a good game, very close. Thanks Corey, and thanks YouTubers and 4+ers for watching.